creation story was just me having the overwhelming desire to wear bread and hollowing it out and putting it on my head and feeling what that felt like. And simultaneously, these songs and chants were coming to me whenever I would get in my car. And I never thought of myself as a singer. I thought of myself as a visual artist. I didn't really know what to do with the chants, but I trusted them. The first time it happened was in 1982. I was driving through Topanga in my old Cadillac, the Whale. That was the first manifestation of the bread songs, but I didn't really know what they were at the time. Years. I haven't seen her for 30 years. She's been in her bread box. When I first started to do performance art, I was working on my book on snails. I think the snails led me to Breadwoman. Slowly. Snails and Breadwoman are both lunar creatures. Well, in the early performances of Breadwoman, I would surround myself by kitchen timers, and I like the ticking. And if you have enough of them, they start to sync up. And I was looking for Breadwoman, and I never found her. I mean, what I found was Demeter. I found Isis, who was the Lady of the Loaves. But I didn't find a Breadwoman per se. And I was a bit surprised and disappointed because I thought, well, surely she must already exist. But I didn't find her as such. There was Corn Maiden. There are very many parallel stories. But there wasn't a Breadwoman. And I think she lives in Alcharinga. It's the Aboriginal term for the dreaming, where all the songs and the stories live. And when I first started to sing, I would find words that belonged to, like there were African words, there were Serbo-Croatian words, there were, and maybe that's just an accident of phonemes. But I like to think that Breadwoman sings in a universal language, that she sings in the mother tongue. That's why there are remnants of other languages embedded. You know, I have met people who also speak that language or their version of it. I think when we're children, we're fountains of sound, and we learn which sounds become language, which sounds are actually words. But I think it's our nature to make sounds. But I feel like the language I sing in has integrity. It's a found language. I used to say it was invented, but I didn't really invent it. I found it. It bubbled up. I mean, I'll hear a good squeaky door is pretty, a crumpling paper. All those sounds are great. A lot of times people sample that, and then you can travel with one little unit, which would be great. But I love the thingness of it. I love the visual of an element. You don't know what its voice is going to be. It's thrilling to find that out. There was a manifestation of Breadwoman in 2011 in my friend's gallery. They made a most incredible environment, this amazing window that was black with pinpoint lights for stars. They made a bread tree, a different kind of mask. It was much more abstract, and it was so heavy that I had to sit underneath it. I was wearing black, so I disappeared into the environment. You weren't really sure if there was a person there or not. It was a metaphysical Breadwoman. It was the most ancient Breadwoman. It was just a different manifestation. And now I understand that Breadwoman can have a lot of different faces, a lot of different costumes, you know, a lot of different settings. She's not limited to just one persona. The most outstanding bread adventure was one of the early bread walks when I went through the farmers market in Los Angeles just to see what would happen. No one seemed surprised, and they said, "Breadwoman, go to the bread bin." And just as I was leaving the farmers market, a busload of Japanese businessmen arrived, and they shook my hand like I was the official greeter. I think I'm an archivist. I mean, if Breadwoman is archival, the element of incubation, the element of the yeast rising, the process of it all, duration. And the early Breadwoman performances were cycles. I mean, she's not theatrical. She lives in a natural setting, like a cave or a thicket. She's someone you come across, and she's just performing her activities. I always used to start the performances with my head covered. There's something about the image of a covered head. It's very mysterious. I don't even remember how it happened, but I was performing Breadwoman and they lifted my veil and I like freaked out. But then after that I could perform without a bread head. I could perform as myself. It was an initiation. I don't think I can be Breadwoman again in that way. I can sing the bread music, but I don't think I can wear the costume again. It's somebody else's turn to bring new energy to an old image. She was, for me, a journey and an internal process, and the end result is Breadwoman. But she's not coming with a message. She just is. She's not didactic. She's poetic.
Uyeshti